Alright, welcome my friends. It is time for our second episode of Satisfactory. Now, today we're going to be focusing on automation, on building, obviously, and I've chosen a specific spot to end for what we're going to look at in the alpha. I've chosen this spot because I think it represents a majority of what the game has to offer currently in what I have been able to do. So right now we've just finished up building some resources, or are finishing up building some resources to build the third upgrade for the hub. I think I've got it all, so we're going to go ahead and throw some reinforced iron plate in there. Make sure we have enough cable. We definitely have enough concrete, so I'll throw that in there. And then, yep, make some cable, and in that goes. So last thing we have to do is iron plate. So what I've decided to do is show the start of the automation that we have in this, turning it so that the orange goes next to the green of the previous one. Now if you hold control while you're building, you can actually snap to a guideline. I found that particularly useful, to be honest. So really at this stage, the beginning of the automation is not fun at all. You have to manually just go throw things around, and you know, the power system is the power system. But you have to manually like grab things out and throw them in, and it's really a pain. But after a bit of waiting, which I've cut out for you guys in order to save some brevity in the episode, I have gathered the iron plates necessary for the next upgrade, making sure I have everything I need, and in it goes. And we've got hub upgrade 3 done. So now, as you'll see on the bottom, I can build, thank God, some conveyor
You have
belts.
unlocked new buildings and blueprints, which can be found in the build menu and craft bench respectively. 8th objective, hub upgrade, additional power. Advice: when planning the construction of buildings, note the placement of conveyor belts. Caution: overloading the power network guarantees suboptimal performance.
Speaking of the power network, I've just made some biomass, which is the majority of the fuel you use, at least the fuel I've come across. And so conveyor belts require some iron plates. Really, that's quite simple. So now I've automated that system a little bit. As long as the smeltery has iron ore, it will produce iron ingots, which then go into the constructor to make iron plates. So you can see here I'm going through my buildings, looking at all the different things. Currently I've got some, foundations, some walls, some basic buildings. I don't have an upgraded miner yet, and that's really a pain, because you can't actually put conveyor belts for miners that don't well, have a slot for a conveyor belt to come out of, to be honest. So I've obviously put some concrete in, and we've got the cable necessary. So again, we've got to get a bunch of iron plate and a bunch of iron rods. So this is going to be a simple matter of waiting until this has made enough iron plates from these iron ingots that you can see very beautifully set on the conveyor belt. So there we go, we've got enough iron plate. And what you can actually do is you can go back into the recipes and change the recipe that the constructor is currently building. You're not set to a certain thing. I'm not sure how it is in other automation games, but I quite like the way this one works. You'll see a bit more of it a bit later, how much I enjoy this system. But currently I've just got it building all the iron rods. And so, without further ado, I do actually have enough iron rods, finally, to upgrade the hub yet again. And so, there they go. Hub upgrade 4.
Congratulations. You have unlocked Hub feature, additional biomass generator. New buildings, which can be found in the build
Alright,
menu.
more power.
Ninth
new buildings.
objective, Hub upgrade, molecular analysis. Note: to ensure full mastery of skills and equipment, I have been asked to not interfere with this last objective. Good luck.
No interference. That's my favorite, Ada. If only could not interfere at all. But now I do actually have extra power, so obviously the more generators you have linked up, the more power you can have, the more constructors and smelteries and miners and God knows what else you can have linked up to it at that time. So you can see over here, I'm actually heading away from the base. I think the first thing I'm going to focus on, if I can, is actually setting up some limestone. Because now that I've done that last hub upgrade 4, I'm going to build one of the new miners that we have. So I think I'm going to set it up, and then hopefully I'll have enough. Oh, I'm missing some iron plate. Let's see how this goes though. Okay, so I'm out of iron plate, but I do have enough stuff to make a miner over here. So I'm going to show the very bare necessities of how this whole automation system works. I've got a conveyor belt. I still didn't grab that plate. Give me a sec. Up here we go. And out of all the menus. That's the pain, is that you do have to get out of all the menus. Collect it straight up, it just snaps. Sometimes I did find it more useful using the poles, but we'll get to that in a bit. Now that miner does require power, so what we're going to do is obviously we're just going to power it directly from the bar that's already there. Easy as pie. So now you can see that the system is directly automated. I don't need to do anything, and I immediately get iron plate, which is good because quite a lot of these upgrades actually require a shit ton of iron plate. But now that I've got that set up, I can actually set up the system for the next one once I get some power down there. That conveyor belt does look a bit weird angled like that, but see how it goes. I believe actually one of the buildings we got was some kind of storage container. There we go. So I want to put that down. I want to see what this does. This is one that also does require. We're going to grab some plate. It does is able to use conveyor belts, which is always handy. So we're just going to make sure we get it in the right place and snap it in, and there we go. No, there. Okay. And conveyor belt. Okay, so now even we've got iron ore that comes from the miner, goes into the smeltery, comes out as ingots, and then comes out as plate. So now we're going to upgrade the next system. So the other thing we need a lot of for buildings is concrete. So making sure this is turned around the right way. I'm going to line it up with this one. And there we go. Right there. Perfect. So conveyor belt out here. Make sure it doesn't get down too far. And I think the easiest way to do this is to... Oh, I'm still out of iron plate. I'm glad the first constructor I got set up was iron plate, because jeebus, is this resource intensive. But I better not forget to put power out because that is also necessary. So while we're waiting actually for the constructor to probably make enough iron plate, I'm going to link this up. So at least I'm gathering limestone while I wait for this constructor to be ready. So you'll notice I do this a bit. I actually keep forgetting I have that storage sitting there, and I quite often end up going back to the constructor rather than the storage container, which actually holds the stuff I want. So conveyor belts do have a limit, as you can see. It is actually very clear what the limit is, which I find thankful. So now I've got almost everything sorted. I'm just going to power that constructor. I've got enough iron plate and everything for the next lot. I believe I just had to make some concrete. And I'm actually going to show one of the tricks I've learned about using conveyor belts in this. In other games, you're able to go over or under or whatever. This, you can actually manually set your height on your conveyor belts, which is quite helpful. We can just take it straight up here and connect it up. And now we have limestone going direct into concrete, which is absolutely amazing because you do need it for a lot of buildings, and especially later on, as you'll see, possibly, you need it a lot for some stuff. I also noticed that when you want to build the foundations or the walls or any of that kind of stuff, that requires a lot of concrete just to build that. So as you see, I've gone to the constructor again instead of picking it straight up from the container. But here we go, we're building another container for concrete to come into. This is always handy. I've found that this is probably the best way to do it. Hell, you could even just have all of them go into one. Although I have not found a way to do that yet. Later on, as a bit of a spoiler, there is, spoiler alert, a type of building you can make which merges or splits the conveyor belts. But the next thing to do, we have concrete, we have iron. Next thing to do, logically, is copper. Now, we haven't necessarily needed a lot of copper previously, but I'm thinking that right now is a good time to do the copper, as we've got the other ones already producing enough of what we need. So we're going to throw a constructor over here once I have the necessary stuff. Do keep in mind also, if you ever play this game, that the power poles can only have 4 attachments at once. So you're better off connecting, I found connecting 2 in line and then 2 off to the side. So for example, you connect each power line to the one before it and after it, and to 2 things next to it. So if you have 2 smelteries next to each other, do that. If you have 2 constructors next to each other, do that. That's the way I found it works best. But hey, this is only the beginning of the game. Who knows what amazing things people will find, especially when this game finishes what it has else to do. Because it's currently the 17th for me, probably the 16th for a majority of the world, or at least America. And this game doesn't come out early access until the 19th. So as you can see here, we've built another storage container. Now we just have to conveyor belt everything and then assign it to create something. So this copper is going to be going straight into wire, as I feel, well, that's obviously what we need next. Okay, now not to be outdone, I've decided that we're going to build another iron mine because there's a place for the thing. Why not? So as you can see, you're going to build this one all in order from scratch. You go miner and find the snap point. We go smelter, and once we've got the stuff for it, because I keep having to go back and make reinforced iron plate. Once we get the snap position, we're going to make the constructor, and then of course, again going to grab some resources, I'm going to make a storage container. And there we go. Now go back through and conveyor belt everything. The conveyor belts are probably the most simplest part of this game. It is ridiculously easy to just conveyor belt exactly where you want to, and it's super easy to get them over and under each other. I've had absolutely no issue with this whatsoever in the game so far. In saying that, I have had plenty of issue with the power. The power is ridiculously hard to get set up right. I've actually even had times where I've just gone, you know what, screw it, and just completely redone power after this point, and probably after and during most of this video is when I've done that, because you upgrade your stuff and you're like, oh, this one will be fine, and then it's not, and then you're just like, oh, well, that was painful. And it is so not useful. So we have to go make some stuff to finish this off. Alright, there we go. And over here should be good enough. It'll be fine. At least for now. So power there, and power there. There. Nope, not enough cable. You also use cable up like it's, I don't know, food. It's probably one of the first things I would recommend automating if you can. It is ridiculous. You need so much of it. Especially if you're going to be building long systems with long power. So currently we actually have finished the plates that we need, and there's the wire that we've also automated, and the last thing is the rods, which again we automated. So skipping all the waiting time, I've finally finished upgrade number 5. Let's see what Ada has to say.
Congratulations, you have unlocked HUB feature, Molecular Analysis Machine, also known as the MAM. Building, Biomass Burner. Building, Space Elevator. Motivational message. Congratulations, you succeeded in every provided task. On behalf of Fixit Incorporated, I thank you for your current and future service. Additional knowledge. The hub terminal has been converted to give access to milestones there to ensure you progress along Fixit-approved protocols. Additionally, the MAM provides the opportunity to send samples of xenobiology and other materials I deem relevant to R&D in exchange for appropriate rewards.
Oh, I get
Note, future developments should be aimed at constructing the space elevator and thus initiating project assembly. Good luck.
Ada, please. I was talking. So I get to send things away? Okay, so let's do this. Oh, so it's going to take time, and I can't do anything else. So I can only do one at a time, and it takes like whole minutes. All right, well that's lame. So I guess I'm just gonna skip forward to the cool part, which is the space elevator. So really all I did for this was just wait until my pre-built automated system decided that it had enough resources. And as you can see, I've put the to-do list on the right. I actually tried out the to-do list for this one, and it was really good at keeping an eye on what exactly I needed to build. And it's not really that intrusive. I just went and did some exploring and it was there, and then I could double check what I needed when I came back to base. But let's see what this space elevator looks like properly. Alright, I've never built anything quite so big, so all this stuff flying at it is actually pretty cool. That's an amazing animation, I love it. Alright. That's cool. What does it say? Oh, I can configure it. So it appears I need to put things in there and then load and seal and send it. Alright, that seems easy enough. I'm not going to do that this video, I don't think, but holy crap. Alright, that's cool. That is an absolutely massive building. Okay, I approve of this. This is amazing. Oh man, this just makes me hyped for the rest of the video. I am not gonna lie, I am so excited for playing the rest of this. Alright guys, and that concludes our review of Satisfaction. I'm going to leave it here because that's the point of the alpha that I want to end at. Everything else seemed rather basic for a video, but also was just I wanted to have fun with. I wanted to explore without worrying too much. Not that I did, to be honest. This video was originally intended to be a one video series, or a single off video rather. And yet I just had so much fun with it that I didn't realize I spent hours playing it when I was only meant to have, you know, maybe like half an hour of gameplay. Just zoom through as much stuff. Don't do like exploring, just review the main part of the game that everyone wants to care about. But I just had so much fun with it. I actually forgot that I was, you know, making a video series for some of it. And this game absolutely has glowing reviews from me. It is quite similar to, you know, Factorio, but I've just got to say, Factorio to me was not a game I enjoyed. I liked the premise, but I felt like if I spent all my time playing it, I was missing out on other games. But if I didn't spend all my time playing it, I was wasting my time. Which is not a good feeling that a game is meant to give you. So I didn't really enjoy Factorio, other than on a very base level. I liked the idea of it. Satisfactory for me hits all those buttons. I didn't realize I spent hours playing it. I just did. I didn't realize it was eating up my time. It just did, because it was so fun. I got to explore the world. I got to build things. I got to just wait around and see the things and then go off and do whatever I wanted. The game has an exploring element in it that I believe Factorio didn't, and other similar games don't. Not an exploration one. As I've said in the previous video, the combat is pointless, but honestly I feel like it's only really a matter early game, and after that it's pointless and doesn't even show up. Now I will say that with the molecule analyzer thing, whatever it was, MAM, you can actually end up researching the alien carapaces you get from the Zoomy boys, and I believe it ends up giving you some kind of armor. I'm not going to say exactly what, because I don't remember, and I didn't actually get that far with it because I didn't care about that part of the game currently. Because it's alpha, some things, I won't say exactly what, but some things in alpha weren't complete with the research, and so there was no point doing them. So I didn't bother with the research. I just mainly did the building and the milestones, and all of that was great. Each milestone felt like it was, oh, this is going to be so useful. But everything you have up to that point is also just useful. You can just make do and have it still be fun. But all of the extra stuff that you can do after that is, oh my god, that's so good. Which I think is a good way for a game to go, a good balance on it. So yeah, all in all, I've just got to say this game gets a 10 out of 10 for me. It's so much fun. It looks great. It feels great. It's got all the makings of being great. And for a price of, it's $30 for me. Whether that's USD or AUD, I'm not quite sure about yet. But it feels like a game that's going to take so many hours from me that I'm not going to care that I've spent $30 on it. Regardless of what currency it's in. So, please do check it out. I don't get anything from you if you do, but I will say that it is an amazing game that deserves support and deserves a player base. So, thank you guys for watching. That is the end of the video. And please hit that like button and subscribe button. And I will see you guys next time I make a video. Goodbye.